Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Yes.
St. John and Biggs.
Yes, indeed.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, fam?
Now,
Biggs, last time you was here, you told us you wasn't doing the music anymore.
he did tell us that. He said he was done with music.
I was adamant about that too, right?
And I've been watching St. John over the past years. So I can see why you would want to attach yourself to him, but I'm still going to ask you the question, why?
I mean, we built a relationship first. It started with that, but you don't meet a superstar every day, you know, and I couldn't anticipate, getting with somebody with this amount of talent. So it was kind of hard for me to turn down.
Well, explain how you heard of St. John.
Tata played him for me. So
Tata didn't take him? Tata wasn't like...
Tata was trying to sign him. He was like, look, let me play this album, Collection 1. This guy tried to sign, and for like 2 days, I couldn't stop listening to the music, and I met him at this Pierre Moore show. He introduced himself to me, and after that, for like the next 2 or 3 months, we became just genuine friends, and he kept saying, look, Biggs, what you thinking? Like, do you want to get back? And I was like, look, I'll do it for free, At the end of the day, I spoke to Ty and Jay probably like late December, and I was like, look, I'm thinking about it. And it was like, well, the talent level, and you're passionate about it, so you should do it.
So, St. John, why you didn't want to sign with Tata?
Nah, I love Tata. It wasn't that.
What was it?
We just got, we had to get the business right.
Oh, so it was like a negotiation thing going on.
Well, we were talking, we were having really good conversations and building a relationship. Because anything I want to do, and fortunately, the people I'm in business with, they like relationships. Right? So you spend a long-winded period of time where you talk, you get to know each other, you see whether it makes sense. And what we were talking about doing at the time was management.
Oh, like Rock Nation management.
Rock Nation.
Okay, got you.
Because I'd already done, early on we were talking about doing everything. And we were just building a relationship. And then we progressed to management. And then it never happened, but our relationship was intact, which is the best possible thing, right? Nothing happens, but you're still in a great space. And then when Biggs and I met, that was a natural fit. That was a no-brainer.
Now, with you, Biggs, is this your only artist? Are you creating a management team now, or is it just this is one off? I'm going back to this. This is.
I mean, there will be a management team. I also manage Fallen, the producer, who did St. John's first 2 albums. So he produced everything, and then also the Drink Champs.
Right.
Yeah. So
I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know you
I put
knowing
that deal together just now with Tidal, Revolt, and Massapil.
Really?
Oh, sneaky ass Nori with these sneaky ass business deals, sneaky ass affiliations. Yeah. I'm intrigued.
Shout out to Randy Acker.
We know that you can spot a star, and it's always these people that I guess people wouldn't look at and say, "Oh, these guys are gonna be superstars." Nobody thought Jay was gonna be a superstar initially. Same thing with Kanye. What is that energy that you see?
I mean, Jay was different. It was a skill level. I don't know if I had the eye or the palate to say what kind of talent that would be. Kanye was different. We had a little more time in the game, so I was able to understand the music, the business, and the sound a little more. And this was the closest thing that I've ever seen since Kanye. St. John, yeah.
Now, did you start off as a writer or as an artist? Because I know you wrote for a lot of people. Yeah. So you was always an artist.
Yeah.
So what made you feel like, I'm going to give some of my records away? And because I know with some artists, they want to keep all their art to themselves.
It wasn't choice. It was opportunity. I came from a place where I was just like, it's inbred in you to be a hustler. So certain business tactics or principles, like I learned and I adopted.
You're from Brooklyn?
Yeah, I'm from East New York, more specifically, right? So if you can't get it off yourself and somebody else can get it off, then you give it to them, right? You start the conversation and you roll from there. So I was working on records myself, doing it myself. Then an opportunity came and I started writing for other people. I knew that reach would be bigger than mine and broader than mine, right? Somebody with a platform. I don't got a platform yet. I got to build mine. They at the top of the steps, so where they got a platform, they could deliver their message. Let me just give them the message.
Smart.
Now, how was coming out of Brooklyn, East New York? Because most people would be like, you're not your typical East New York looking artist. Was that ever a problem?
Nah, I never thought about that. Yeah, I don't think about things I don't want to change. I think about things I want to affect,
Now, I heard the story.
Oh, I like that. Hold on, expound on that. I like that.
I mean, I live in the moments that are made for me, right? All the things that aren't designed for me outside the window, the scope of what I'm trying to do, they don't matter. They don't affect me. As long as they don't affect me, they don't affect me. I live like that.
Now, you talked about a story of flying to L.A., and they said that they had you in a $60 million mansion. And they said there was all these different studios and different rooms, and you had to go out there and work. Explain that a little bit.
I remember that was the first Rihanna camp I ever did, right? So I'm in this wild Malibu mansion.
Who called you, first of all?
I don't remember how I got the call. I don't know if it was Tata, Omar, or I don't remember how the relationship went at that time, right? This is different. This is like a couple years ago. I'm in a $60 million man. First of all, it's hard to fathom, right? It's hard to scope what that looks like.
Right.
There's hedges. I didn't even know what a hedge was, fam. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what's a hedge? Like this is a designer tree? Oh, yeah, niggas doing some other things.
Yeah.
And I'm in this place, and there's all these artists, or all these writers of different walks of life who've done incredible things, and I'm in there, right? So I remember at the time, because The Dream was a writer that he's large on my list.
Mm-hmm.
He's done so much, he's earned that spot.
Yeah.
So I remember he was in the other room working. I'm like, I gotta beat this nigga. I gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going off. This is my shot. But of course, it's an incredible intimidation. You there with everybody on the planet, right? So Travis Scott's in the basement, Hit Boy's somewhere in the corner, and I'm in a room working on records, and my record ain't go. I wrote a record or 2 or 9 or whatever it was, and it ain't go.
So you wrote like between 6 and 9, and she didn't take none of them.
She ain't take none of them.
That had to hurt your heart, bro.
Do they take you serious though? Like, do they say, all right, there's this new kid in here, St. John. Do they give you that level of respect because you're in the room, or they were like, nah, we ain't rocking with him?
They don't got no choice. They got ears.
Yeah.
I'm there because I'm supposed to be there, right? And as long as I can do what I'm supposed to be while I'm there, then they can't ignore it. Everybody in that room, everybody on that compound is there because what they can do. Their ears and their vision. So unless everybody just proposes for that particular time to be dumb and blind, they gotta accept it.
Did you feel bad when they didn't accept your records?
Nah.
Why not?
Nah.
That helped hurt a little bit. Like you done wrote 6 records, and they're like,
Because I know it's out of my hands.
Got you.
Yeah. They have their own, when it comes to putting together a project, you got marketing initiatives, there's branding initiatives, there's so many things you thinking about, you putting into. The most songwriters just don't have the bandwidth to understand. Like, you don't know they thinking about all that. You just thinking about your record. This the record she needs to do. This the record he needs to do. They're thinking about what's great for their agenda, if it fits into their agenda. And I get that. It's not personal.
And it's timing too, right? Because
Yeah.
that same record, they might grab 3 years from now.
Absolutely. They hold on to records for long periods of time. So I'm not discouraged by that.
How was meeting Rihanna? Did you meet Rihanna?
Yeah.
How was that?
It was cool. I remember I don't know if she'd remember this, but we in the kitchen. I remember saying, I was like, yo, Rihanna, why you don't tell more people you Guyanese?
Because you're Guyanese.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said that.
She's Guyanese?
And maybe I should. She's half Guyanese.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I was like, what's up? Why you don't claim your Guyanese side? She's like, bye, let me tell you something. Right? And I felt like one of my aunties was in the kitchen. And I was like,
you popped in here.
I was like, look, Miss Fenty, look, I'm out. I broke out of here as quick as I could. I don't want no smoke. I don't want no smoke.
Did you feel like you overstepped your boundaries?
I feel like maybe I used 4 words too many. like maybe if I'd have stopped the sentence right there, that'd have been good.
Yeah.
I went 4 words too many.
Yeah. How did the Beyonce Brown Skin Girl session happen?
It just fam. Some things you don't have the words to articulate. You don't know. That's timing.
It's my favorite record off that album, by the way. Play that for my daughters all the time.
That's what I made it for. That was timing. I started that in Jamaica. So I went to Jamaica to do this writing camp. So every year we do this camp in Jamaica. It sounds real sexy and luxurious because it really is. We on the side of a mountain. There's like 40, 50 writers, right? We just making records for like 10 or 12 days. Right? Me and some really good friends and some people that I don't know. And it's a writing camp. So your only
Is that
agenda.
for anybody particular or
Nah.
just to go out there, clear the mind?
Just to go out there. I don't know about
smoke
clear the mind, make the publishing company some money. That's the real hustle, right? Everybody there to make some money, but we're making art, so we're carving it out through art. So everybody's on the side of this cliff, this place called G-Jam. It's in Port Antonio, Jamaica, right? All of these villas, like redecorated as studios, outfitted as studios. There's 50 of us. People are staying on houses on the way. It's sexy. It's ignorant as it should be, right? And I'm on the last day. I went there. I was murdering it for 10 days, and I don't feel shy about saying I was murdering it. They got to accept that, right? So I'm there. Like, I'm
You
like,
got a
why?
Beyonce placement, so you was doing something right?
Why even be polite about it? Why be kind about it? I'm going to tell you the facts.
Yeah.
These are the facts. Murdered it, bodied, right? So I'm there on the 10th day, and my home, Shani, who's my publisher and a really dear friend of mine, she's like, yo, come to the studio, come one last day, do it, come on. I was like, Shani, you ain't see me, I was dancing. Everything that could be done got done. I go in the last day, I ain't really want to work, and we start working on these records. Me, P2J, and another friend of mine, right? Bipolar Sunshine. We start one record. We're bleeding through records like really fast. I'm talking about 4 minutes on a song. I'm like, nope. Everything sounds good, by the way. When everybody in the room is as gifted as they're supposed to be, you're hitting 8s every time. It's an 8 every time, right? You get Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Kukoc on the team. How bad can the game be? That's what it's like.
All right.
Boom, we moved through record, and finally we start Brown Skin Girl. I'm like, cool, we finished this record. And I don't know if it made sense to everybody else in the room, but that's where I wanted to go. That's what I knew we needed to do something important. If it wasn't important, I didn't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You make songs every single day. You write songs. It's like y'all interview people every day.
Mm-hmm.
If it ain't important, why should you wake up out of bed to do it?
Right.
Yes, that's a fact.
Right? So that's how I felt. So we started the record, and the minute the language came with the melody, so you hear Brown Skin Girl.
So you heard that when you heard the beat?
That's the first thing that came. I was like, let's go. And that's where the record started. So lots of it was conceptualized and like written there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came back to him. Actually, the first person I sent it to was my mom. The second person I sent it to was Tata. This sounds crazy, but it's true, right? So I sent it to my mom because she's never really heard me make. My mother knew I was making music, but I wasn't asking for permission. I'm coming from a Guyanese household. She ain't giving the permission anyway. She like, go to school, figure that out, be a doctor, be a lawyer, be something, be a mechanic, get a trade, be a plumber, something.
Mm-hmm.
Something with
That's my mother.
Something with a hat.
Right? So she's like that. So I knew this record mattered. So I sent it to her. And she said, you sound good. I was like, I think that means it's a hit. She ain't never say nothing before. You sound
never said
good
about your music ever?
Nah. No.
Wow.
And she's not a bad mom for that. It's just, that's not where she was at. That's not what her vision allowed her to see. That's my vision. That was for me to see. She could see it now because I painted the picture more broadly. Mm-hmm. But at first, she couldn't see it.
That's why you can't get mad when people don't believe in your dreams. They're not for that person.
They're not dreaming it. Mm-hmm. Visions are for the people that can see them. And I was okay with that. So the second person I sent it to, by the time I got to the airport, I sent it to Ty. And he was like, yo, fam, this is crazy. Right? I ever tell you that? It's the second person. All right. And by the time I got off the plane, it was already starting to circuit. Like it already started making momentum. Mm-hmm. And then Biggs went and played it for Jay. Right? You played it for Jay and B. Mm-hmm. Like B was, you got to tell that story better than I could.
No. Well, actually it was on my birthday. So I told Jay, I said, look, if I knew Michael Jordan and I'm playing basketball, I'm going to ask if my form is correct. I said, I'm getting back in the game. I need you to listen to these songs and tell me if I'm doing the right thing. Like, give me a listen. So went to his house, played like 20-something songs, and he was going crazy. And then he was on FaceTime, and then B came downstairs, and we just listening to songs. But at that time, nobody was like picking anything or saying. They were just like really impressed by the sound. Mm-hmm. And Jay just kept saying the tone. When people hear that tone, he's going to be out of here. He's going to be one of the biggest artists. It's the tone, And after that, I think maybe a month or two later, it kind of circulated, and Same was like, I think B's recording a song. I was like, yeah? So let me call Jay and find out. And then he was like, yeah, she is recording. I was like, oh, man. You know what I mean? And we went from there.
What happens if 3 artists are recording the same song at the same time?
That's not a good thing.
It's not a good thing?
No, that's a problem. Something's going to happen if 3 artists are recording the same record.
Yeah.
Because that means 3 people have the intention of using it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. You might have an issue with, you're going to have to figure out who you get at to first.
And y'all would have to say on that, right?
Yeah, we would, because if we wrote it, if it's our record, for sure.
Now, Biggs ever come to you and be like, try something like this. I'm trying to make a song like this. You ever do that? No, not at all, Biggs. Like, you stay out of that creative process.
Yeah.
He loves being in the creative process because it helps him see the big picture and helps him paint the picture for himself. Mm-hmm. But he's not pointing any fingers going, do this. He just supports it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Biggs, how different is the success of a St. John to the success you saw other artists have back in the day? Because back in the day, you had to have a song on the radio, a video on TV, but you still see his shows are sold out. So what's the difference now?
I think it's just a different platform for marketing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And, with streaming, radio, I think terrestrial radio is definitely still important. But there's other ways to pivot and think about an artist and grow them as a brand as opposed to before. Because you got to understand what the marketplace is calling for today, and you have to pivot fast. Mm-hmm. And everything is fast consumption, right? That's why, we kept it to, we was trying to get it to 10 songs. We don't want to do the 20, 30, and 40 songs because people don't have, that attention span the way they did before, right? Because there's so much music coming out, thousands every week. So, you just gotta adapt to what's happening today.
And St. John, you seem so original, right? So what is the whole ghetto Lenny Kravitz vibe?
I just don't play guitar. It's simple, man.
Yeah.
That's it.
But I don't see you comparing yourself to nobody.
Nah, it's not a comparison. Mm-hmm. It's more of a respect for the path. He's the only person that's ever existed in that space, right? Like the line that he walks, it's sexy, right? But it's still cool and still aggressive. You still feel like that's a guy. but that's cool. It has its own magic. It has its own identity. It's original. It's poised, and it's informed. Like there's very few people who have all those components.
Him and Prince.
Him and Prince.
What did you listen to? What did you listen to growing up? Like, what was your mind frame coming from
Rap.
Brooklyn?
I listened to everything. So anything rap, anything that came out, I was listening to Jay. I was listening to Fab. I'm listening to Jada. Everything New York.
Oh, you a Brooklyn nigga.
Yeah, for sure. Super Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so listening to all that. And then on the other side, I was listening, because I grew up bouncing between Brooklyn and Georgetown, Guyana. So I'd be listening to Beanie Man, Sprague, Buju, Capleton, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was that's the influence. Wherever that bridge meets, that's where I live.
It's just music at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's it.
For me, it's just all beautiful black music.
That's it. The difference between it is rhythm and melody. That's what makes you think something is being rapped versus something being sung. Same language, different pattern, it's the same thing.
And the Ghetto Lenny album is supposed to be about you falling in love with a stripper during the summer, right?
I mean, look, the spirit, the inspiration of it is like this. Here's the thing. People ask me,
He's still a Brooklyn nigga at the end of the day.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I'm still a nigga. Let's not get this messed up, right? And red leather pants, but I'm a nigga.
Yeah.
I love strippers, right?
You did a whole album.
You know what's so
about
crazy?
it.
I literally was just having this conversation before y'all walked in.
Yeah.
The young lady who
You
just
didn't say
left,
you loved him. You said
No, I know the young lady who just left. Her name is Tony. She used to be caught up in a sex trafficking ring, and I met her like 15 years ago. Told her she was too pretty to be doing this. You know, she needed to bounce.
Charlamagne gave her a
And so
Subway sandwich and a
Envy
grape
was
soda.
saying, I gave her a Subway sandwich
Don't
and
do
grape
this
soda.
no
I
more.
said, yo, you too pretty for this.
Wow.
You need to leave. So Envy was saying, like, man, I was hoping that she didn't say you had sex with her. I said, nah, I never been into prostitutes. I said, I love strippers though.
Strippers.
Yeah.
Strippers are kind. I'm lying. I'm lying though.
So you frequent the strip clubs?
Absolutely.
But you fell in love with one during the summer?
I ain't fall in love with one. I like the idea, right?
You fell in love with
What's
one
the
before.
idea?
Nah,
You
listen,
never fell in love with a stripper
I've never
before?
fallen in love with a stripper. Not for long enough to leave the club and still believe it.
So while you're there, you're in love.
One of them there's true love.
Explain the energy then. What is that?
It's seduction.
Okay.
It's there's a certain truth to it, right? Listen, if everybody there is there for their own reasons, right? If there's no trafficking involved, there's nothing illicit, there's nothing forced about it, then she's dancing and she's finding her way, right? Which is cool. I think that's cool when a woman is independent and she's taking life into her own hands.
Mm-hmm.
Then when she starts to master seduction and start creating energy, that's real cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like when a woman can draw you across the room from across the room,
Mm-hmm.
she's studying something else. She understands manipulation. I'm like, oh, that's cool. You just gonna wear that pink thing for me? And I like when they lie to me too. Tell me I'm beautiful. I'm cool with that. Tell me I'm the most pretty nigga in the room. I'm all that. What you said? Your left ear smell good? You damn right. I want all that. Right?
I think seduction is missing from music, especially with men.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
Like when I think about this generation, the last artist I think was that created seductive music was Miguel. With the Adorn and
Miguel and Trey Songz.
I wouldn't call Trey seductive.
Neighbors Know My Name and some of the records. Yeah.
No, that's not just a Trey. I just wouldn't call that seductive.
I guess there's a difference between sexy and seductive.
Yeah.
Right? I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. I think that's missing in general though. I don't think it's music. Think about it, right? Music is just like art. It's just whatever the amplification of whatever's happening in the real world. Then you're gonna see the music. Like when we going through a hard time, then you hear music that's relieving depression.
Mm-hmm.
All of those things. It's reflective in that way. So there's not a lot of seduction, period. Right? I meet women all the time. Strippers and non-strippers. I'm fair and equal.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just something they don't understand. It's not something that's taught. It's not. You watch a movie or you, damn, what's a really good movie to watch? What's your favorite stripper movie?
Your favorite
Players
stripper
Club.
movie?
Players Club. That's with
Lisa Ray.
Lisa Ray.
Come on, fam. Everybody and their mother wanted her in that movie,
Mm-hmm.
right? Striptease too.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the way you dance with the camera. It's the way you dance with people's eyes. The way you dance with their minds. I think that's missing. The last time a girl took you on a date?
Well, I'm married, so.
I'm like, cool, you can go back.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'd never been. Nah, a woman never took me on a date.
I mean, imagine how powerful that is, right? Seductive. Look, I'm gonna take you on a date.
Yeah.
I want you to wear this. Show up at this time, and I want you to stand there.
So that's what you like.
I'm like, cool.
That is kind of that's fly.
That's cool.
That's fly.
Yeah, I had to see his face. He's like,
Charlamagne's like, yeah.
That's fire.
Because our wives do that to us now.
Yeah.
You think Envy don't be coming up with matching outfits on his own? You know what I'm saying? It's the truth. It's the truth.
It's the truth.
okay.
It's the truth.
What do you got against O's? I see you
O's?
cross out the O's.
No. It's just for distinction.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Now-
not overcomplicated.
Now, how much does radio matter? Because back in the day, radio was everything.
Yeah.
Now, who cares? Well, I don't want to say that because I work for radio, but you know what I mean as far as your song being played on radio. Does that
Yeah.
matter to you at all?
To me, it doesn't matter. But I'm not naive. You can't be a superstar without radio. Let's not be
we debate
foolish.
that in here all the time.
I think you can be a star.
Mm-hmm.
A superstar requires you to have absolute reach, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is still like really core reach. Now, a younger generation, right, the one that's about to take over the world, we're all streaming music. Nobody's listening to radio. But everybody else who hasn't figured out how to create $1 out of their mind is still going to work on a 9-to-5 basis, still clocks in like this. Radio is still clock in. It's still a check of time. It still helps you pass the day,
Right.
right? That's still important. The rest of the world still exists, right? Whenever you come up with a new idea, you feel like, oh, the whole world is on this new idea. No, it's not. We're early. We're still early.
Mm-hmm.
Radio still matters.
I would rather have what you got right now, though. Meaning, like, I would have to build that foundation, have a cult-like following, then go to radio. Because there's plenty of people that get the radio play, don't even know who the fuck they are.
Absolutely. Now, I'm not saying I would trade me for whatever's happening.
Mhm.
Right.
I'm just saying me and whatever's happening is, like, whatever I'm doing,
Yeah.
in addition to radio, is incredible.
Yeah, it got to be a combination. To me, it's a combination that makes the
Absolutely.
superstar.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you explain to me the different sayings you have, like not a cult and God complex?
Well, God Complex is the record company.
Mhm.
So everything is like sort of formulated around a few different, like almost selfish ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So Not a Cult is the audience, because I have an audience that's cult-like, but I prefer to refer to them as not a cult,
Mhm.
so that they understand. So we identify each other when we see each other.
Mhm.
Right? In God Complex, I'm brazen, I'm daring, I'm ignorant, I'm arrogant enough to think that I could do whatever has been done better. It's fact, or else I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, that's how you change the world.
Yeah. If I didn't think I could make music in a better way or make it sound better or more poetic or more ignorant or more brilliant, I wouldn't do it.
Well, let's get a joint on now. What song do you want to hear right now on the radio?
What should we play off Ghetto Lenny's love songs?
You want aggressive or we
Whatever-
want ignorant?
whatever
Whatever
Yeah,
you think is the
whatever you want
masses
the
should
people to
hear
hear, the
right now.
masses should
Listen, I'm an ignorant nigga. I want to hear the ignorant shit.
Well, let's play
Right?
what you want to hear. Go with it.
I want to hear All I Want Is a Yacht.
All I want is a yacht.
All I want is a yacht, fam.
Okay.
Okay.
You want to introduce it? Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is St. John. It's the fucking Ghetto Lenny show. I can curse even if I can't curse.
We
Y'all
can't
bleep that out.
wait,
Bleep that out.
wait, bleep.
Like, and don't send whatever fine to me. I'll give you Big's address, send it to that nigga, right?
Here it is. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Hold on, a couple more questions.
Mm-hmm.
Lenny Kravitz.
Mhm.
What's that relationship like?
Fantastic. He's a homie.
How did you meet?
We met in Paris. So we met at a Chrome Heart show.
Mhm.
So we're about to go in. We're running through Fashion Week.
Mhm.
We're missing shows. We're on time for some shows. It's a whole wild, chaotic moment, but we look good doing it. So no matter what you do, if the picture looked good, it was a good picture, right?
Gotcha,
and it
gotcha.
happened. So we about to go to the Chrome Heart show. We definitely, like, not the show, the parties. We definitely missed it. We're outside, but we're Evan's there, Evan Ross, right? So Diana Ross's son is there. And we go inside, and it's dying down a little bit, and we see Lenny. And I look at Biggs, and Biggs look at me, and I'm like, bro, what you want me to do? I can't. Like, you got to put this together. So we find a window. Lenny's doing whatever Biggs calls big dancing, right? You know what big dancing is?
Little
it's-
two-step?
it's- Yeah, it's like 10 people in the room, but he's dancing and he's moving all around the room. You know, the big dance, you start here.
Oh, yeah,
He's there. So I'm
yeah.
looking like, how the hell I'm going to talk to this dude? He's big dancing. He's there.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at Lenny. I look at Saint. Saint's looking at me like, go.
That's the one feeling in the world when you standing by somebody waiting for them to finish talking. Oh, man.
So we find a window, and Biggs talks to him, and he introduces us. And he'd heard a song. There's a particular song I wanted him to be on. Like, this is how cool it is. I made a record, and we were in the middle of finishing Ghetto Lenny's Love Songs, right? Which is my latest collection. And I sent this song, and I was like, yo, it'd be cool if Lenny Kravitz got on their Borders. I just said it. I thought it'd be cool. And then we ran into him, and he's like, I heard it. I like it.
How do you hear it?
L.A. Reader sent it to him.
Wow.
right? So he's like, I like it. I was like, Lenny, like the record. Right, because you'd only planned up until that point. You don't know what to do beyond that point. So I'm like, I'm like,
ask for the feature.
I'm like, what? He's like, yo, I'll do it, but we got to do it honestly and sincerely. I'm like, well,
what does that mean?
Cool. Whatever you want to do, however you want to do it, I'm down to do it. He's like, it got to be a real collaboration. I said, absolutely. He's like, come back. We're in Paris at the time. We were headed to London. He's like, come back to Paris. My daughter's getting married, right? My daughter's getting married this weekend. Come back Monday. Yeah. Zoe Kravitz is getting married. Come back Monday. I'm like, whatever reality TV show this is, my nigga, I love it. I'm really happy to be here. I don't know if I'm starring. It's a guest appearance, but nigga, I'm on it right now.
Word.
Right? So we go to London. We come back. It's the Monday. It's 3 a.m. in the morning. His daughter just got married. Saint Laurent just did the entire wedding in his house in Paris, which is ignorant crib. So he FaceTimes me at 3 a.m. in the morning. I pick up. I'm fronting. I'm knocked out. Right? I'm like, yo, Lenny, what's up? None. It was dark in here. You know how you faking when the lights are. It's dark in here. He's like, yo, come to the crib. All right, cool. I'll be right there. I get Biggs up. I get my guy Jason up. We go to his crib at 3 a.m. in the morning. He's like, I started the record. This is where I'm at with it. What do you think? And we start. And art is important to me. I really make the things that matter to me. So then I say, this is what I think, and we really start working on it.
Were you intimidated at all?
Nah.
No. You knew you were supposed to be there.
Yeah, if I'm making a record that you enjoy,
and
we're here because of where my mind was at and where it's at presently. I'm not afraid of that.
What about when it comes to like, y'all don't like that, Lenny? You should change that. I do it like this.
You got to remember, right? I've been writing songs for other people for a while, right? The first real big record that I ever got was Usher. So I wrote a record for Usher, and Usher invited me to the room to finish writing like the rest of the album.
Which album was this?
This was on the one where he was a stone.
I don't remember.
You know what I'm talking about? He was a statue and his face was cracking.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I don't remember the name of the album, but the song is called Crash.
Okay.
Right? So I go in and I work on another record on that album. So I cut my teeth. I'd already known what it was to be in a room that I was invited into because I belonged there. So I stopped feeling like I didn't belong there.
Gotcha.
So by the time I got in that room and I'm in the crib and there's sexy fabrication on the floor. That's the best way to put it.
It wasn't fur?
Sexy fabrication.
Yeah, something a little better than fur.
He's vegan, so it ain't gonna be fur. It's gonna be better than fur, right? Checkered floors, Ali things on the wall, Basquiat shit. Even if it wasn't a Basquiat, fam, it felt like it's a Basquiat. That's what you gonna say. You can't tell me a goddamn thing. It's a Basquiat. I ain't never touched no Basquiat. I'm looking at that shit. I think he got like Joe Frazier's boots from fighting. Like wild shit. So we're working on the record, and I'm telling what I think, and we're making the record better. And we come back the second day. Like, the fact that Lenny's been doing this for dozens of years, and he's still up at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning with me.
Crazy.
Banging out a record that he had just heard. That 3 days ago was never going to happen. His daughter just got married. When I say just, all the wedding drapery was still up.
Wow.
They probably had just left, maybe 2 hours before. He was up. He was in a black tux.
Wow.
With the tie loose.
I think you just earned another spin, man. Introduce that record with Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah. This is St. John. You about to hear Borders featuring Lenny Kravitz.
All right. Well, we appreciate you for joining us, brother.
Yeah,
Thank
man. I look forward to just continuing to see how everything evolves for you, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right. Well, it's St. John. Appreciate you, Biggs. Thank you, Biggs. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.